Morning miners, this is Pakratt, and this is me lagging out like crazy trying to play Feed the Beast, but it's worth it because this just looks cool. I know I haven't showed you guys a whole lot of my base yet and stuff like that, but the lag that you're going to see is obviously going to be part of the reason why. Right now I'm just sorting out my items. I've actually been waiting to do this until you guys can actually see it, because it is kind of cool. The ender pearls we actually caught the other day, I just put them back in there just so you guys could see them going through, because when we actually got back and watched them go back through this thing, it did look pretty freaking sweet. So I thought I'd let you guys take a look at that. Okay, so what I've been up to. It's been quite a bit. This is actually the leftovers from a quarry that I did a while back, actually. And I just added a bit more to it from something I used a filler on. By the way, they have not nerfed fillers yet. That's odd. Okay, I gotta remember to add that. Just not right now. Gotta add that too. Okay, yeah, getting distracted. There is still a few items that I haven't put in this thing yet. I'm just trying to get it working at all, so we'll see what happens with that. Okay, let me just turn it down, because I'm lagging enough as is. Thank you. Okay, at least now I'm getting down up to like 10 FPS. Okay, so now the big thing that everyone's been requesting is they've been wanting to see who's aluminum in the IBF. I don't even know what he's. Anyways, you've been wanting to see what me and Jim's were working on. So I'm going to go over there as soon as I... Hold on. Retriever something that recognizes... Oh. Oh, I know what he's talking about. Oh, yeah, actually, I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I got this thing set up. I haven't figured out that whole retrievers thing yet. I just worked with what I got. What he's talking about these things right here. See, I've been, there's so many different things in this game, and I got to make so many different parts to make anything. So I made these little auto-crafter things. This is something that essentially you input the items and it'll spit it out for you. I don't know what to call them, but they're pretty cool. Like, here's a good example. This one is designed for making solar panels and bat packs. Not bat packs, bat boxes for red power. And let's see what's missing right now, because all you need to do is put stuff in it and it starts pumping it out. I think this one right now is just missing copper. So let's just go ahead and pop some copper in there. And you guys can see what this thing does. Is that all it's missing? No, I could use some tin after that, though. You see what it's doing. The way this thing works. Tin. Let's see. Ti. Titanium, glowstone. Okay, so I don't have any tin in here. I must have it over here, or I don't have any left. Tin. Here we go. Okay, yeah, I got lots of tin over in those barrels. I just haven't cooked it up yet. But you can see what it's doing. Now that it's got enough batteries, it's going to go ahead and start making these things. Yeah, I think it did. Did it make one? No, it didn't. Needed more tin. Okay, we can watch it now though. Okay, so now it's just popping that out. And the way the auto crafting tables work is these things right here. Is they not only can you just use a hopper to drop items into it, but you could put a chest next to it, or you could put any inventory you could put a lot of inventories next to it, and it'll pull from that inventory in order to craft. So I set up 4 of them right next to each other. So you can see here we go. It's going to have 4 there. Now it's making one of those. So I basically just made it so it feeds into each other. So you can have multiple recipes hook up together and make something all at once. And if I had put blue wafers in here, the blue doped wafers, then it would start popping out the solar panel. So now I have enough bat boxes and LI panels made at the same time, so that I can actually go ahead and add to my little solar array up here. So anyways, let's go ahead and show you guys around. That's my newest invention. That's just a neat little side project. Now you guys can tell I haven't gone the IC route at all. I liked Etho's idea of sticking away from those machines because yeah, the solar arrays, those are pretty cheaty. So I mean, they're just too powerful. You can do too much too quickly. So I went for the MJ route, thermal expansion especially, and I've had a lot of fun with it. It's been a slower progress, but I've been having a lot more fun without having to worry about how much copper I have all the time. Like, more especially, I don't have to make wires for everything. That was just getting a little bit ridiculous, and I'm going to have to start doing it eventually because I want to be able to get some of the high-grade armor, but right now I'm just having fun not doing that. So let me just drop a few things off here before we get moving. Now, if you guys saw the last episode, we do have a lot of ender pearls right now, so I can have a little bit of fun with them. Like, I started making gates. I'm probably going to start replacing all these with where are they? These, because I can. All I gotta do is take time to make them. And what I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna end up making a laser light show setup thing over in that corner over there, and use wind power to power that, or the solar arrays that I'm gonna have set up. One of the two. And I can do that not because of Red Power, because Red Power has a converter now. We have this nice, pretty little engine here, and I figured out how to make it actually connect to stuff. See, if you take this thing and you try to connect it up to a Buildcraft pipe, it won't connect up to a Buildcraft pipe very well. It also doesn't connect up to these energy conduits. What it does connect up to is this thing. These things will basically take any input. They'll feed to anything, and they will take from anything. So they're like ideal. So what I did is I hooked it up so that all my solar panels and the wind power all comes to this point. Speaking of wind power, let me guys show you what's upstairs. You guys might have seen it yesterday, but or not yesterday. You know, whenever you saw the episode. Michael did have a what is it? A windmill before I did, but I have the cool one. This one does take a lot more string to make, and I already have a backup for when this one breaks too, so it's taking a little bit of damage, but not a ton. And I try not to keep it on all the time because I don't have to suck up power all the time too either. I'm not like Nebris where I'm trying to make UU matter for everything, at least not really right now. See, the problem with UU matter is that it takes with the Greg Tech add-on, it takes so long to make anything. You would need more than one to actually do anything like half decent. So I haven't really bothered with that. Greg Tech, I like that it makes it more complex and makes you go to the other mods, but I don't like the fact that some of the stuff is just ridiculous. But okay, let's go ahead and show you guys around the thing that everyone's been asking about, and I mean everybody. All my I've had to start deleting content or comments because you guys keep asking to see this stupid little farm we got set up over here. Okay, it's not a stupid little farm. It took a lot of work. I'll admit that. But I mean, really, guys, you gotta calm down. The reason that I haven't done as much is one of the big things is because of the frame rate problems that I've had going on over here. So now that it's calmed down a little bit, you can see I'm a little bit less jumpy now, so it's more visible. All the frame rate issues are now over there. So I think we can do this now. Now, this is not entirely my setup. This is me in the gyms, and the gyms has put probably more effort into this than I have. So don't you guys think this is just me. This was my idea. But it is not entirely my design. This is definitely a combination. So here's how it works. Okay, you guys could see all the farms that are going on up here, right? You have the tree farm up there. You guys have seen that in various. There goes the frame drop. Anyway, yeah, and okay, so there's the tree farm up there. This does work on auto. What it does is it feeds stuff down into here. Or it feeds stuff up and down here, so you get power from a biomass engine down here that goes up and feeds into these two things right here. Now this one plants. It also puts the hummus back in too, and this one actually harvests. This harvests the trees, And when it harvests the trees, the humus becomes sand, and the sand gets pulled out by this thing, and it gets replanted again, pretty much instantly. It's pretty efficient. We've actually got a ton of wood. Look at this. I mean, this is ridiculous. We have more wood than we could ever figure out what to do with now. Jim's has to keep coming over here and adding more barrels. Now that we have ender balls, we can make an extra dimensional barrel and make it a lot bigger, so we can not worry about that. But I mean, that works pretty good. Now the thing is that when you're talking about a tree farm or something like this, you got to keep adding humus, and the reason that we have a extra supply of it is because we have wheat. The wheat is used to make the humus. I'll show you that downstairs in a minute. And that's why we have it. Oh, yeah, this one's going to change out in a second, I'm sure. It's kind of cool to watch that. Come on, do your job. Anytime. Don't make me look like a fool. Or do. Whatever. Anyways, it will change that out when it gets around to it. Now, that's the first farm that we made. Up there. Yeah, of course, as soon as I turn away, it changes it. That was the first farm that we made. The second one, and actually I made that one. I just started making that, and then the gyms came over and started helping out. The second thing we made was this one. This is the Reed's farm. Now this pumps out like crazy. Because it's lit day and night, and because there's so many of them, dual levels. See, the way that the harvester works is it doesn't just harvest directly on the same line above it. It will harvest 3 blocks up and 3 blocks down, which means you can make it dual level, and we did. We did that so that we'd get a lot more out of it, and it has been extremely helpful. We've been getting so much sugarcane out of this that it's basically provided most of the biomass that we need to fill up that tank over there. Now the third one is over here. This is the cactus farm. It's basically exactly the same type of thing as this one, except it's only one level. We could make this one dual level, but cactus is just frankly not as useful for the farm production. It's useful, but not as useful as like the sugarcane. The sugarcane is useful for you can take it and you can turn it into the bio balls, which is more efficient. When one of those goes through the system, it gives more than just the sugarcane itself, kind of. But you can't turn this into anything. All you can do is send the cactus through itself, which it still works. You still get a positive out of it, just not as much. The third one, then the fourth one that we did was the wheat farm. Now you could tell we got a tilled area in the center here. That was me. I was trying to see if we can get it so that, because it actually does harvest that. When you actually do put seeds in that spot and they do grow, it actually does harvest the stuff that grows in that spot. The problem is it doesn't replant it. That's unfortunate. That would have been cool. So you can make this multiple levels, and oh, we're gonna do something kind of cool right now. See that? Okay. I love how this works. See how these ones are pulled up? This one, when it gets, what it does is it's cyclical. It like checks each plot one at a time. That's why it doesn't work instantly. But when it does, it'll come back through and it will replow that and it'll reseed it. There it goes. And give it a second. So that's why the ones in the center look a little bit funnier, because it's got the grass growing there. But this one, it's just going to stay tilled always because it keeps itself tilled. Now let's take a look downstairs at the actual fun part. What did I just pick up? Oh, sapling. The saplings, the trees that make the saplings. This is actually the most efficient thing that can go into the fermenters for filling up that biomass tank up there. Unfortunately, it doesn't produce them fast enough usually, but lately it's been producing them pretty fast, so it hasn't been as much of an issue. He might have... No, he didn't change this. This is just doing this on auto. Huh. That's cool. He actually probably just added a bunch to it too, but that's beside the point. Okay, so when you're going down here, you've got the big tank. The big tank I built. I tried to build in like the first week. It was a pretty important thing to add into this thing because we needed enough for the whole server, and we got it now. The next thing that we did was we started setting it up so that it runs off of its own fuel. So biomass, this is biomass, right? I always get that wrong. Yeah, this is biomass. Biomass is what actually powers everything. It powers the biomass engine here, and one over there, and 2 down here. Now the reason that was brilliant. How'd that hole get there? Huh. We're gonna have to fill that in. That is not supposed to be there at all, and I can't do anything because of this lag. Okay. I mean, I get lag in general anyways, but when I'm recording, you guys know from other people, recording makes the lag much worse, and it's making it interesting for me right now. All right, fill that in. That should be dirt. Do I have dirt on my bar? Yeah, I do. If you guys saw from the previous series, I do embrace feed the beast pretty good. I know how to use the bags and all that stuff, so I just had to make sure that I had something on the bar and it fills it up for me. I do love these bags, and that's one of the things that I've been begging the guys who are doing the bee things for. I want these things upgraded. Right now they can take 15 slots. The upgraded ones can take 45 slots. You actually get more slots than you get in your actual inventory, I think, right? Let's see, 9, 18, 27, 36. Yeah, you would actually have 5 rows, which that's pretty good. I want that. Don't have it yet. But at any rate, okay, getting distracted. So, all this feeds into each other. Now, you guys saw on the server from a few other people, I'm sure, but this thing kept running out. The reason that it kept running out is because, well, one, everyone started using it, which is good. That was the point. And it actually took this thing from full to empty. Both because it has to fill up this pipe. The gold pipe is used because it holds more in it, so basically it's like having a higher voltage if you were talking about electricity, because there's more flowing through it. But filling that up and then getting it to everybody's place and everyone starts using it because no one else has any other form of power, it did kind of kill it. So once it emptied out and I started putting it on like I just started spooning it out slowly so it can feed back up again, I added this. This is an iron gate with it's an autocratic gate, I believe it's called. I don't remember how to say it, but essentially this is a redstone engine already attached to it. So the only reason, but I have it set so that only when the tank is full will it actually turn on, and it's full a lot, so it turns on a lot, so that's fine, and it just keeps the pipe nice and filled, and it won't empty out the tank. I wish, by the way, that the guy who made Buildcraft would actually tell this thing that you do more than full and empty. That would be nice. But you can't. You can only do full, empty, and that's about it. It says if there's room in the tank, and it says if it's full and if it's empty. Well, how about if it's at a quarter? If it's at a quarter, I want it to turn off. You know. But whatever. So I just got to keep it full now, which kind of sucks because that means that we got this big old tank that we can't do much with. But I did set it up so that if we had a redstone, if we put a switch next to it, we can just have it flow freely. And if we have like a big project where we need a lot of energy or something like that, but that's good. Now that's what the flow is controlled by. Over here, this is the one engine that goes to both the cactus farm over there and to the reed farm over here. Now we only need the one because these, unlike with the wheat farm and the tree farm, these only use one machine. They only have a harvester. They don't need to replant anything because you guys know it. You know how reeds and cactus work. All you got to do is cut off the top, and that's all they do. They cut off the top and collect it. So that's one of the reasons why they're really efficient. I've considered actually adding like just another reed farm or another cactus farm just because they're awesome. They just keep pumping out more and more stuff. Now, we did the same thing here. I'm not sure if that was the best idea, but these things put out a pretty good, decent amount of power anyway, so even if you're dividing it up amongst 4 machines, it still seems to work pretty dang good, so I'm not too worried about it. Plus, they aren't ever going to move faster than things can be harvested. So I'm not that worried about it. I mean, you don't see much wheat here that's just waiting, right? Because it finds it pretty quick. See, we got one right there. I think that one turned while we were watching. I'm not sure. So it'll go just like when I jumped on that one before. It's going to go just as fast because it checks it pretty quick. So, yep, there it goes. So it doesn't need to have an engine for each and every individual one. You just need one good engine and divide it up. So that's what we did, and it works really well. So now, as far as the whole operation down here, you guys can see the piping going around. We do use ender chest for the reeds and the cactus over here because it's very effective. And I got this set up to work with 4 redstone engines pumping at the same time to make sure that it's... Because if this thing like turns off for a little while or something like that, and then we turn it back on, that thing just gets full. It really it actually does fill up to a point where it overflows with the reeds and all that stuff. This also does this collect the saplings too? No, it feeds the saplings through here. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So this is from the tree farm. That collects the saplings and that collects the sand, and I think that's about it. Saplings and sand. Yeah, because it collects the wood up there. Okay, now this is only here because I wanted to make. I needed some paper, so I just hooked this up real quick and let it run for a while. And like in a couple hours, this thing overfilled. You gotta love how that works. That's just epic. Now this is. I actually came back one day after I had dug out this room with the filler. I came back the next day, and the gyms had this thing all set up. This also runs entirely off of the biomass, by the way. The biomass is those 2 engines down there that runs through these energy conduits to go to these engines here, or to these fermenters here. Outside of that, it's just biomass everywhere. The reason I switched to these energy conduits is because these two engines that you can barely see behind here actually put out more energy than it can deal with. So it kept blowing up one of the pipes. So I had to like choke it, kind of. Not really. The energy conduits are much more powerful anyway. They can hold a lot more energy on them. So yeah, they work pretty good. I think it might have actually been just a feedback loop because of the fact that one of these engines was feeding into the other. So that might have been why I was kind of doing it too. I don't know. Anyway. So, stuff comes in. As soon as it comes in, it starts to go through the processor. Now you can see we have gold pipes here. I set up as much as I could because it does speed it up without being powered just by having 2 next to each other, and that gets it going at a pretty good click without any problems whatsoever. And you can see here we do send the hummus back through the line. So that's what the diamond pipe is here for. You can tell we are using Buildcraft pipes just because it does give a little bit more control. It's not as efficient for sorting items. Sorting items, that's red power. That's some really good stuff. As far as controlling items, though, for the simple stuff, Buildcraft pipe actually works pretty good for that. So that's what we used because that's what we had available in the beginning. Now we could actually use a sorting system if we wanted to, using red power pipes or tubes, but well, it's set up now. There's not really a reason. So now it gets to the first one, and the first place it's going to go to this diamond pipe here, and this one is designed to only put sugarcane straight down. That is why I had to set this thing up right here, because this sucks out all of them. As soon as the sugarcanes come here, they don't go any further. There isn't even anything over there for sugarcane. The only thing it does is make bio balls, or plant balls. And those start going down the line. Okay, now the next stop is here. Then we start to separate out the wheat. The reason we do this is because we want to have some wheat make it to the end of the line. You know, because it's a useful thing that a lot of people can use. And this does help temper how fast we get the wheat going in, because we don't want it going too fast, because what it's making is just making compost, and the compost actually lasts a long time. The compost is used in 2 things. It's one, it's used in the fermenters. All the fermenters actually run on compost. Without the compost, they do nothing. And the second thing is going to be coming up. So you want to slow it down a little bit, because all it's going to do is just start pumping out so much of the stuff is it just starts filling up barrels. And even though we got it slowed down, you can tell it's still filling up barrels over here. We got 4 stacks of it right here. And I'm pretty sure these are double stacked, so that one over there is probably full. No, it's not full, but it's pretty dang near close. Yeah, we're full of a lot of stuff. So, all right. So that's that one. Now, the third place that it goes is right here. This is a macerator. It's like the only thing that I use, that I've set up or anything, that actually is IC for industrial craft. Everything else is not. You can see it does take bio balls, or the plant balls, and its only purpose is to make dirt, which sounds weird. Now, here's one thing that some of you might be confused by, how this is running off of this, off of the Buildcraft stuff. Well, it's pretty obvious, actually. It's not running off of Buildcraft stuff, it's running off of forestry. It's running off of this little sucker right here, the biogenerator, because there is a pipe going around. I don't think you can see it right now. No, you can't see it. But yeah, there's a pipe that's running down under here that goes directly to that, and all it does is power that macerator. That's its only purpose in life. And we don't need to add any overclockers or anything like that, because it's making dirt. We don't need it to do very much, so it doesn't. Now, you notice there's no pipe coming out of this thing. We had one. We discovered we don't need one. This is kind of cool. The next thing in line that needs it is right here. This is to make dirt, okay? Or to make hummus. And this takes the hummus, sends it right back up here, and it starts to go that way. That's where the hummus is made. Now, the reason this is kind of cool is because this excuse me, this actually feeds from this. You remember how I said back when we were looking at my design over there that these little auto crafting tables will take from an inventory directly next to them? That includes this one. So you don't actually have to pipe this dirt out. It'll just take it without even have to worry about it. So the only thing that actually controls how much dirt or how much hummus this thing actually makes is how much compost it gets, which is controlled here. You can see we send 6 times as much compost down the line than we send to get more hummus out, and then it takes the hummus and sends it that way. And then more things keep going. Now, the reason you're looking in here and you're seeing like random levers and stuff like that, that's something that you should do whenever you're doing anything with these diamond pipes, because if you accidentally don't do that, essentially every time you add a pipe, it'll just start, anything that's not unassigned will just start spewing everything else out of it. Like if you don't have this, if you don't have yellow assigned, well, obviously you want yellow assigned, you want the, right? No, if you don't have the yellow assigned, because it's an input, it's just where this is coming out and it's going down that way. But if you don't assign it, then it'll just start taking anything that's not assigned and start sending it down that way. So it's a good idea to always put something in there that just doesn't get used. So there's never a time that levers are going to start coming down the line, so that works. He actually used what is it, a shovel over here, I think. A shovel with an iron shovel with that much damage. Yeah, that's never going to show up, and that's probably ideal. That's the best thing you can do, is something that's never going to go through the system. And the next thing that's getting made over here, this is for making a little bit more plant balls. This is just using the seeds. All of the seeds come this way. We don't keep any of them. There's not really a need to, so we didn't. You can get seeds so easily, there's not really a reason. And if anybody had ever really asked, we could have just piped a few of them through, because they're not that necessary. So, and yeah, it just makes the plant balls. Yeah, makes the plant balls and sends them down the line. And then it starts to go through a gold pipe, speeds it up. Like I said, these don't need power, you just need 2 of them, and they speed up pretty good. Now we get to the fermenters. These are the things that actually make the biomass. Now, you'd think that I have these set up so that, excuse me, you'd think I would have these set up so that they will only take oak saplings or anything like that. I actually have them set up so that they'll just take anything that's supposed to go into them. That includes the wheat. I don't remember adding the wheat, but actually no, I did add the wheat. I just wanted to add anything that's going to go through, because we have so much wheat now, it's just ridiculous. So I was considering actually adding another crafting table here and just have the wheat become more biomass. But I didn't, so that's okay. wheat is more useful for everyone else anyways. We should probably just start taking this and putting it into an auto crafting table and start making bread out of it, honestly. I mean, really, we could... Yeah, Jim's already started doing something like that. He probably just took a bunch of it out of there and just started making bread. Because, honestly, we just have so much. I mean, this one's half full, right? Oh, he turned that into sand? Oh. Well, it's just hard to tell because everything is all over the place. What? How is that sand? Did he empty that out and it just sand started filling it? I think he did. Yeah, I think he did do that. Oops. Well, we'll have to fix that later. Maybe. Well, yeah, anyway. Now, when these things go through, all they're doing is that they're taking the compost and they're grinding it up. And like I said before, the saplings are the best thing that you can get in here. And also, like I said, these things are designed to take everything and just shoot it straight down. Oh, I did forget that. You notice that it doesn't actually say send some down and into the black and then send some the next line through. Like this one says oak saplings are all supposed to go down here. But they're over here. It's quite simple. If there's no room in the inventory, it goes further down the line. That's it. So this one is the same as this one, is the same as this one. It just tries to fill it. Works pretty well. But so when that goes through, it processes it all, and this is the actual line that goes up to the tank. But that's not everything. Obviously, there is the overstock that comes through to here, and it hits this thing. This is just a simple iron chest that honestly it does not need to be an iron chest. This could be anything. If this was an inventory that was one big, it would be fine. The only reason this chest is here is to convert from Buildcraft pipe to redstone tubes. That is it. And the only reason we're using redstone tubes is because redstone tubes will only fill this thing up if there's room to fill it up. Well, in that case, I guess there actually is reason for the iron chest, because the iron chest, if there's no room, then it will just stay in the chest. So that might be what I think he was saying, that his timer was missing earlier. That might be what it was. It probably just wasn't spitting anything out because it was full up on something and got jammed. I haven't checked this thing in a while, so we actually have to add a void pipe to this somewhere just to deal with this overflow because it gets ridiculous. Okay, so but that's basically it. Now the reason that it goes, and then it goes into the redstone pipe or the tube, and it just gets immediately sorted. This will instantly go wherever it can, and if it can't go anywhere else, then it will go here. I gotta make this a resistance pipe actually, so that it won't go anywhere but where it's supposed to go. But that's not that important. Actually, I could use some of this stuff. The thing I don't like about the design that we have here is every time I hit the stuff here, let's see if it works. How much do I got? Oh, I can do it in the diggers. All right. Okay, that'll do. But yeah, you see how that one just kind of floated there? That's because it's not actually here. Because we used half slabs, and because I actually used a filler to just dig out this room out of a wall, and it's over the top of a cave. Oh man, that green stuff right there, I thought there was a creeper there. But yeah, there's a lot of times when it'll just kind of drop it. And I'm sure that sand is actually down here somewhere. I don't know where. Usually it's like right underneath the barrels, but now it's not. But I wasn't full, was I? Oh, I was full. Well, I don't know where they went. They just got shot somewhere. Okay, I'm stuck. And now I'm derping around. I guess we should put a few more of these back in here. And I just don't want to... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just... Oh, yep, there it is. Just sitting right there. Okay, well, let me just go ahead and send this back into the system because it's kind of fun to watch. And like I said, I'm tempted to just convert this over to redstone tubes because... if I did this with a filter or something like that, it would actually send through stacks instead of singles. And I'm not about to convert this to something like an electric pipe or a Buildcraft pipe because that's just, no, I mean a biomass pipe because that's just overkill for this thing. A biomass pipe would empty this thing stack at a time, probably more than that actually. But there's not really a reason to do that. So having the 4 redstone generator or redstone engines. It takes out 4 items at a time, and it keeps up pretty good. You just saw how fast that sand was going through here. It's already in there. So, yeah, all done. Gotta love how that works. Can I get in there? Why can't I get... Oh. Okay. Yeah, interesting design by us. Is it here? It's not actually here, is it? Oh, I picked up a seed somewhere. Where the heck did I pick up a seed? That's just weird. Alright, well, you guys get the general idea. You guys saw how this thing works. It works pretty well. As far as what you're going to see me doing later on, now I gotta somehow place this again. Oh, this is going to work great. Alright, hold on. Let's just take one of these, set it over here. Oh, I know why. I also have a sapling. How did I get a sapling? Oh, I know where they came from. They came from over here when I was derping around on that. Okay, alright. We can send those to the system too. I don't need them. You and... Oh, I dropped the sapling. Come here. It's hard to do. I look like I'm jumping around. Stuff like that. It's hard to actually control where I'm going when I can't like move properly. But anyway, okay. So that's how this thing works. It was pretty nifty, and we were actually the first people on the server to actually embrace redstone piping. A lot of the stuff that we did actually inspired a lot of people to start taking up a lot of very interesting stuff. And I'm the one that talked gyms into trying this stuff because it does have significant benefits. And I was the first person to use this stuff too. I actually used that at my house before I used it here. It's expensive. It's kind of costly to make versus just regular pipe. But oh man, is it so much more beneficial. So that's basically it though. And I enjoyed helping to make this thing. It was fun. And I'm glad it supplies so much because I actually use this stuff. This is my main power source. You guys saw what I have generated over there. I mean, we have redstone going on. Not redstone, red power generating a little bit with the wind power, but I have 5 of these engines set up and ready to go at any given moment, and that is my main source of power. So, oh, one more thing. There is a chunk loader in the middle of that. You might have seen it when I was climbing up the steps to the reed farm. That is why this thing produces without ceasing. Without it, the cactus farm and part of the reed farm are not loaded, and it would overflow every time we walked over there because it'd be like, oh, yeah, we have stuff. We can grow now. Yeah, you can see you see how much my frame rate is dropping right now. This is my normal day. I mean, I love this game. I'm loving this Feed the Beast stuff so much, but man. Oh, by the way, sorry guys, I am a liar. I said that my next episode would probably be on the main server. I can't get off of this thing. I just can't stop using this. You notice I'm saying Feed the Beast and not Phoebe. I'm probably going to stop using Phoebe in my title because the reason we started using Phoebe and FTB and all that stuff is because we thought Feed the Beast was a really stupid name. Now that I've played this, it's not a stupid name. It fits it perfectly. I mean, you just cannot get enough of this stuff. You just want to keep playing it. It's a beast. It just demands all of your time. And I'm loving it. So, there's that. Oh, actually, I could use some of that right now, couldn't I? I got to feed my induction furnace. It's probably pretty low. Right? Yep. This thing takes any ore that you put into it and turns it into two ores. Like you send it through a macerator and an oven. It just does it in one step, and it produces rich slag as an extra little benefit. I don't have any rich slag right now because I just turned all the rich slag into this. Shiny ingots. I should have some shiny dust somewhere too. Platinum dust, that's what it is. I wanted to make sure that when I turned, I got to start turning this stuff into, you know what, I'm going to just send that through right now. This is going to be my next set of it. I'm going to get iridium this way, so, I mean, it's the only way that you can really get it easily here. All right, I'm babbling. The one thing I'm going to show you guys, I did do a couple other things that I haven't shown anywhere else on camera yet. The wall, you can see I have been working on that. I did like the whole dot design that I've been working on right here. I just started messing around with this stuff, and I know it's really simplistic when you're actually working with the blocks, because just placing them all down does make that shape, but it still looks cool. It looks really good with that green too. And the reason that green is not all the way up is because that's actually going to be the line up here where I'm going to have solar panels all the way along here with bat boxes under each and every single one of them. And that is going to look cool from the surface. I also have plans for a cool looking design up here, but I can't figure out how to do it yet, so I haven't done it, if that makes sense. I've been trying to research how to do a certain type of art, but I haven't been able to find that. I haven't even been able to find the name of it, so that's been an issue. Okay, so that's basically it. Oh, the other thing that I've been working on, I just finished working on this. I just moved my ladder, that's why I was derping around over there. One of the issues that we do have is with the rubber, and instead of dealing with the trees, Guudites now has a pretty good tree farm up there for getting the rubber. I'm actually going to go the other route, and I'm going for slime. I did figure out that this is a slime chunk right here. You can hear the slime all over the place. That's actually over here in G's plot. Hold on, I gotta. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's over here in G's plot. That's not over here right now. What I gotta do is I just finished this like an hour before recording. And what I gotta do is I gotta add another level to it and another level, because while they got a bunch more plots that are slime chunks, I got one. And what they do is the slimes come in here, and when the slime generates, they will only walk in one direction. And when they do, they're 50% of the time they're gonna walk here or they're gonna walk there. And when they do, they'll drown. They'll drop their slime balls, and a transposer underneath it will suck them out and put them into this. Hopefully. I haven't perfected this thing yet. It needs some work. We'll see if I can get this thing functioning right. That's actually what I was going to work on next. So, there's a lot more that I want to do. I still want to work on the FTB version of Guudites, and I actually have a really good plan for a really good game for that. I just haven't done it yet, so we'll see. I'm working on it. But that's it for now. I'm sure I've gone over the time that I actually wanted to go, and that's pretty much it. You guys have a good one.